Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, IFWL fans, and welcome to a Friday night. Welcome to Max's Mini Enduro. We go for round number 2 here at Donington Park with a different format. 2 30-minute sprint races to come your way. A 15-minute qualifying for race number 1, and 10-minute qualifying for race number 2. You join us here with free practice as the sun begins to set here at Donington, located just behind the East Midlands Airport, and of course in the flight path. 20 minutes south of Derby, we go racing what many consider the best circuit in the UK, myself included. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Alexi, and this is IFWL. This is Max's Mini Enduro, and we are looking at it right now with the bot who currently sits at the top. 1 minute 27, 2:62 here in free practice with Vitus P number 2 and Martinelli P number 3. I will make an apology here. This man, Rutherford, not Rutherton, it's Rutherford. I was calling him Rutherton on Wednesday. It's Rutherford, I apologise. I got told to correct myself by him, so that's what I'm doing. Then you got you got Roach, who I have not been asked to pronounce. Then you got Druidge as well in that good old Golf Porsche, and it is in Goose there as well. P number 10 at the moment with the top 10 on the board. And apparently, sinuses are going crazy. Gotta love it. Gotta love when the sinuses are going crazy across the board. Don't you? As either way, as it does currently sit, the Bond sits P number 1 with Vita's P number 2. McGowan sits P number 3. He's going to be a big one tonight, looking to get a bit of redemption. Harris sits P number 4 with Martinelli P number 5. Mendes sits P number 6 with Selden P number 7. Canisage in P number 8, and then Costello in P number 9, and then P number 10 does go to Goose at the moment. Currently sits in the Bentley with 2 minutes 17 seconds left on the clock. So I think that's going to be a big question tonight. It's a Friday night. What's everybody looking forward to? Let us know what your plans for the weekend are in the chat. But right now, we are looking to see some good action tonight. I'm going to put it up on the right hand side of the screen. There you go. Free practice followed by qualifying at 7 PM in game time. Race will be at 2 AM, so a good old night race for the opening one. Then it's 5 AM, so sunrise for qualifying 2, and then basically midday 2 PM for race number 2, with 2 30-minute races, but with a 15 and 10 respectively in qualifying. So qualifying is going to be coming your way soon. There is McGowan switching out the Ferrari that he was driving on the race this Wednesday. Just gone, of course, that being GT Open here at IFWL. Of course, you can get involved via Discord and SimGrid, and then that is how they sit. So McGowan switching out the Ferrari for a McLaren. Going to be interested to see how that will fare for him. It seemed like he did pretty well last time he was in it, so well, who knows, as we are watching Harris at the moment, who's currently making his way around in that Ford Mustang, and he should go for another lap. So let's go on board for a lap here of Donington Park with the Ford Mustang, if he does end up going for one. There we go then. Harris down into the braking zone. Around the left-hander. And onto the Wheatcroft. It begins to run under the Beamer sign. He's got American power in this unit, not German. Down into Redgate on turn number 1. Just over 90 degrees as you turn fully. And now you begin the run down 2 and 3. The granite curves as you hit the first curve, hit the second, go into the third. Don't run too wide, as that will set you up very badly. As we go in a 4th of old hairpin, going to go and use all the circuit to the maximum. Absolutely lovely there. Then up and through Starkley's Bridge, just throw on the left hand side there momentarily. Now up and through the left hander, then through the right hander as well. Going to have check and fly now here in free practice. Then as you go up the crest, a little bit of a blind right hander realistically off Coppice. So now that is nice and clean. He's got it done as the sun will set. The glare on the windshield, that's going to be in the driver's eyes as they now head down into the S's. That was Starkley straight now into the ACS's chicane through the left-hander, through the right-hander. The tyres have already been sent flying. They don't last long around here at Donington. Now down into the Melbourne hairpin, straight on the brakes in between the two boards. Keep it as tight as possible, which the Ford Mustang does. Yellow flags flying because people RTG gotta love ACC. With an 18-degree track, 18-degree air temperature, multiple track surface, no rain on the radar at the current moment. This is Britain, where's the rain at? We're not. Where's the rain at? Who knows? Is that Zal Goodall's hairpin going to begin the run to the line here? Ford Mustang. They will stay P number 4 at the end of free practice, and one more driver to come to the line, 264 I believe, as bells in the pits. There we are, Hiroko. As there's Hironko, so they're going to be the last one to come to the line. I don't know if Jambo was the one who saw that lap, but hello in Jambo, welcome in. Of course, if you don't know, Jambo the one making this series happen, as it is going to be green in pit row, and the pit lane is now open. Seems like Castellio is going to be the first one. No, it's going to be the Honda. Donahue being the first driver out on circuit, which I'm going to say this, Honda around Donington, if you know, these things can be quite a little bit of a beast sometimes, so we'll see what will happen there, and we'll make it even better for you as we go into helmet count. Why is the helmet count so low on Donahue's car? Let me just do a bit of live fixing. You see nothing, chat. There we go. You saw nothing. I very much see 7 PM in game time. Yes, you did. As here we go then. First qualifying lap on board here with Donahue. As absolutely lovely sounding. Coming out when we get the run down into Redgate. Going to be having the sun glare come straight through that windshield as you head down and into the braking zone. Nice and tidy on the line. Going to keep it within those track limits. Down and into the Cranach curves now as they head through. You can see the rest of the circuit. This is the thing with Donington. It's absolutely lovely. It's a shame I've never been in real life, but I know that there are some people in this race. As round goes Donahue at Old Hairpin, and he is gonna go round and down. That is not what you want on your first qualifying run. So now it's gonna give some other drivers plenty of space to fly through. There is Canasaj as they're making their way through at the current moment. Who else is out there? Majority of the grid are. As there is Castellio, as Bell is on the back of him as well. Apparently no, Bell's back here, so that's a different McLaren, is it? No, it's Rutherford? No, it's... No. That's what I was McLaren. My eyes were deceiving me. Either way, we are going to go back to Bell, as they're coming through at the moment. Castellio is also there, so they're now coming down into the braking zone for the Melbourne hairpin. Lovely and tidy. Going through the right-hander now and into the braking zone for this. Into the brakes for the Porsche. Rear end in the last 2 races seemingly being a little bit wobbly on this car, but nice and tidy tonight in qualifying. Castellio goes to the line, sets a benchmark 130.045. What can Canasaj do? They go and dethrone it instantly as Roach is coming down through the final corner as well. 129.320 yet to beat. Nothing there yet for him as Rutherford going to be coming now down and into the line. He will go to the line, P number 5 for him. At the current moment, we'll go to Hironko, who's now in the barrier. What about the Bond? They're starting lap time there, as there he is, McGowan switching the Ferrari through a Macca, but it's still up top. 127.477. No surprise from him. He is very consistent when he is able to get that car rolling, so it's lovely to see him up top. What about this man, Bell? Personally, I've seen him race quite a bit, and he has done some good racing, and he can get that car under him when he needs to and get it absolutely flying. Deverill currently making their way around as well, down into the braking zone. Definitely controller, as you see by the front end and the way that it's moving. But of course, you don't remember there are still some fast controller drivers. As Martinelli P number 2, Seldon P number 3, Deverill goes P number 9, so not too bad either. 4.5 off the top time at the current moment. Haronko went into the barrier, Goose with the British flag. Let's see what the good old Boatley can do here around Donington as they head through the S's chicane and then down towards the braking zone of Melbourne. So out of Melbourne now, just going to be having this car roll through with the good old Union Jack on the back here on home soil. The Boatley with the Union as the Bond is now fastest, 127.007. 007 there for the Bond in the homeland of Great Britain. Goose goes to the line, P number 11. Well, there is the Aston Martin, British machinery in a British circuit in British land. You know what? You know how that fares up. We're not going to go any further. You got Seldon now coming through the corner as well, seemingly a little bit deep there. Welcome into the chat, Mr. John Gooday. And they are now heading through. I'm sure Mr. John Gooday will be cheering on some of these drivers, more specifically Bell, as we know, who everybody supports. Let us know who you are supporting here in the chat tonight, or if you are watching on the VOD, you can of course let us know in the Discord server. Cheer on yourself, or if you've got family who watch, you can ask them as well and see if they support, and they will make their way through, as there is Vitus, who's making it now and down and tidy, and we will continue to watch these drivers. Backing off a little bit there is the McLaren, so nothing there at the moment. Roach and Drulich is yet to get a lap time on the 187 over the 306, the only drivers yet to do so. So it's going to be interesting to see how that will happen, because it's 19-degree track temperature, 18-degree ambient, a little bit of cloud with an optimum track surface, 1 km/h wind coming in from behind you. That is not how you take the circuit there, good sir. But either way, again, a little bit of off-roading may help, especially going through cradders, as it could help. I think you could go very wide, which Castellio does not do. Of course, Donahue ended up dropping it on his first lap. So there we go, and we do get confirmation. Bell, De Bon, Vitus, Goni, and Roach, all GBR guys. So a lot of GBR drivers in here tonight. So I wonder if we've got any others. I wonder if we'll have any other teams in here. We'll wait and see, as I haven't received any information on that yet. But either way, let's give a bit of screen time to man yet to get a lap time on the ball. It's got to be Roach as we go for a lap here at Donington Park with the helmet cam, of course. Ignore that it switched to another driver for a second. Let's go on board with Roach. He's been unable to get a lap time on yet. Let's see if he can find where the mistakes are happening as you head down into Old Hairpin. We will remind you that you can become a Patreon today and get exclusive perks here at IFWL. Everything goes back to IFWL, so it is straight into it to make the experience even better for you all. You can go to patreon.com today /IFWL, as that is going to be another GBR driver. Was that Vitus? I believe it was, and it's going to send Roach off. No, it was not Vitus. Was it Mendes? No. Who was that driver who just went off? Oh, it was Bell. So Bell getting a massive rear end wobble there and spewing across the circuit as they head down into the braking zone. Of course, if you would like to avoid any adverts that may come your way during this broadcast, you can subscribe today. You get 1 free subscription with Prime, and you can also just subscribe via Twitch normally. And you can also become a Patreon. You can also become a Patreon today. Patreon.com /IFWL. If you are getting your first month there, you can use code Lexi for LEXI for 50% off your first month. And of course, we need to give a big thank you to our affiliates and sponsors. That's G Portal, Fanatec, SimGrid Loaded, Moser Racing, and Coach Dave Academy. You can see them on the bottom of your screens. And of course, Max the dog, who what this series is named after. So they are making their way through here, and they are holding onto these lines pretty tightly. But McGowan is up top there with Vitters P2, De Bon P number 3. Whilst I was yapping about things, that's what the top 3 now sits as, with that beautiful sunset in the background there. So it's going to have some good shots. I would think there's going to be some good camera shots tonight, as Roach is now the only driver not yet to get a lap time on the board, as of course Duluth now getting a lap time. P number 18 on the board as it does currently stand. P number 21 for Roach currently making his way through. Canasage is there, Costello's there as well, just outside the top 10. Donahue, who ended up spinning off at Old Hairpin on his opening lap here, would now be P number 10, which he does now sit. McGowan still sits up top, and he's P number 1 with 126.740, 0.075 then to Vitters with the bond with P number 3. So that is how it sits, and they are holding onto it at the current moment. So who is going to decide what they choose against? We are yet to find out. Four minutes 42 left on the clock, and as I always do, because I'm going to do so as well, do not forget to hydrate, chat. Just got to take care of you and remind you to do things. What's everybody's beverage of choice tonight? So right now, top 3 separated by less than a tenth. So this is going to be the fight to watch at the moment here for pole for race number 1. Race number 1 is going to be coming your way straight after this, where of course Vitters goes now into the pit lane. Is the Bond going to get an improvement here? As Bond is out there on the circuit, for some reason it's going back to pit lane. P number 3 still, no improvement. 126.7 yet to beat. Mendez making his way through, jumping all over the curb there. What about Harris? So Harris making his way now down into the old hairpin. I do look at this grid. We've got Bell P number 13 at the current moment with 21 drivers on the grid. 10.5 is 10.5 is technically the middle of the pack. So it would be 2 seconds behind the leader to be exactly in the middle. Way, you never know until it's over. 0.062 there for him. McGowan still 6P number 1, 126.740 for the Macca driver. There is a Beamer on the side waiting to come out the pit lane. Vitters making their way around as well. Let's go and give a bit of screen down to the lower half of the grid. There is Hill making his way through the right hander now, and then down towards Coppice as well. Or should I say up towards Coppice? Huh. Someone find the orientation, I would say. As Hill makes his way through, he RTGs now. So that is going to be that for him. Selden making his way through. He's got 2 other drivers as De Bond. He's going to the top. 126.385. That is a new lap time to beat. 0.355 over the top. I'm sure Mr. Gooday will be happy with that. Is McGowan gonna find a comeback? He's got another lap after this one to find it. So that is how it currently sits at the moment, making their way through. So less than a minute remains on the clock. Who is going to decide what they have tonight? It comes down to this. Write your names in the history books and be the first ever driver to get pole position in the sprint races here in the Max's Mini Enduro. Rear end slipping out there for Vitters, pushing that car to its limit. Pushing it now out of Melbourne into Goddard's, and now through the left-hander. They will hold on to it. He's going to slow it down here as Vitters. He's going to set up for another lap. Is it going to be the quickest? Let's find out. He's going to be the last driver to come to the line here, and he's going to be the only one. So now the 714 making their way through. 718, I should say. Here comes Goose's checkered flag falls in qualifying one. It comes to the line. P number 14, a good improvement there, picking up a position for Goose. Roche now there as well, making their way around the circuit with 4.9 behind, but could find an improvement to get up an extra position here, up against Rutherford. So are they going to find an improvement here? Let's find out. We've got Rutherford, he's making his way through as well, holding on to the current line for a moment, choosing their opportunities and choosing their times. And it is 2.4891. It is going 187 all the way here, but we've still got a few other drivers to come to the line. Here comes Harris now, making his way through the right hander. The Bond did for RTG, so did Vitters. Nothing there for him, unless there's a second in this one, which I don't think there is. There's an aeroplane coming in. You can see the speck in the background. You can see it coming in the sunset. Harris now P number 6 goes and stays there on the timing board. Mann is there in the pit lane, Rutherford as well. Only Roche now to come to the line. They go to the line and they will stay P number 20. But that is how it's going to sit at the end of qualifying. Is the Bond, who will line up on pole position as the camera pans to him. The number 100 will be on top for race number 1 and looking to go 1 for 1 tonight if he can get it straight away. But McGowan is going to have something to say about it. The McLaren is going to want to look for a bit of redemption after Wednesday. They look for it tonight. Then Vitters in P number 3. They are not that far behind, with Martinelli sat in P number 4, with P number 5 going to Mendes, just over a second behind, but P5 nonetheless. We're going to go to a quick intermission, and we shall be right back with your racing with the formation lap as soon as we come back. And welcome back, IFWL fans, and welcome to the Max's Mini Enduro if you are just tuning in. Round number 2 at Donington Park, race number 1, the first of 30-minute sprints, starting to kick off here as the rest of the grid is going to take their marks and roll off the line as they all head down. It's dark, it's night, it is Donington Park. Driver yet to get off the line there. Who was that? It was somebody slow. But as they make their way through, your qualifying results and your grid order for race number 1 looks like this. It is the Bond who will line up on pole position, picking up a 126.385 in qualifying. P number 2 then goes to McGowan in the McLaren, with the other McLaren starting the second row. That's Vitus in P number 3. Martinelli sits P number 4 with Mendes P number 5. Harrison sits P number 6 in the Ford Mustang with the Mercedes of Hanlon in P number 7. It's then Selden in P number 8 with Jones P9. Canasaj in P number 10. Donahue in P number 11. Poronco then sits P number 12 with Costello in P number 13. Goose P14 with Bell P15. Man sits P number 16 with P17 going to Jurich. P number 18 sits Hill with Rutherford in P number 19. And then P number 20 is Roche with Devril rounding out the grid. Of course, unfortunately though, Donahue will have a pit lane start. As also another thing to point out with, of course, if you know ACC, you know what this is. There is a orange little bar next to the numbers, which has a little number 1 in it. That is the pit. That is what the pit lane. That shows what the pits will be. However, we will remind you that that is not mandatory. That there is not supposed to be pit stops in this. It's a sprint to the end. So pit stops are not mandatory. Ignore that. Ignore that words. Ignore that mandatory pit stop, drivers, as that is going to be bad as they head out through the right-hander. I don't know if Kenny also wants me to message Lexi. Oh, all drivers to take a mandatory pit stop. This is mandatory. My bad. My bad. I half read that. My brain got jumbled. I'm so sorry. Pit stop is mandatory as the formation lap comes to an end. All the drivers will go double file. It now goes all eyes to the gantry lights here at Donington.
Green light, show them what you got.
Green flag drops, we are racing. Rutherford already with a drive-through penalty. That's not going to help him out with the now mandatory pit stop. And now down the inside, the Bond's going to try hold on to it. McGowan around the outside, already contact in the middle. That looks like Mendes. Car around in the background. And that is not what you want as they head through it all. And it is not what they would have wanted. That is going to add to the drama there. With all this on the opening lap, about 3 drivers got caught up in that. Donahue may have got lucky there, being as trying to start from the pit lane. Rutherford unable to make it through. He got a drive-through penalty. Reminder, with the mandatory pit stop now, that's going to throw the strategy completely out the window that some drivers would have hoped for. So now, who is going to take advantage? McGowan seemingly lost out a bit of time on that one. So now he's fallen off the back of the pond a little bit. Vitus is there, Martinez is there. Flying goes the tyre barrier because no surprise at all. And now down into the braking zone. Harris is there into the right-hander. Now going to be holding on to this, but we'll see what it sits like at the end of this opening lap, which was a bit of chaos at Cranners. We'll get a replay on that later because it was all too played for as they head down and through, and it does currently look like this. Okay, that's going to work down the inside actually. There's Roche. Oh, big contact there. I believe that was Costello. Yes, it was. That was Costello who went into the back. He is going to slow down here. I believe it was flash, anger being thrown. Yes, it was Haronko who he went into. I had to wait for a second there because it's so dark, it's hard to see the liveries, which is usually where you spot it. Drive-through cleared, cover 223. This is the thing with Donington. It is very much a shorter pit lane. So, all to play for in that moment, but now, with it all choosing, it now goes up and through the right-hander. Here in the darkness, the headlights are on. We'll get a replay when we're about 20 minutes remaining on that opening lap there. What on earth up and down on the exit of Redgate into Cranach Curve, because somebody definitely got the worst of it. As in the background here, you got Horumko and the rest of the grid. It's opened up a little bit, but what about Vitters? He is all over the back of McGowan, and we will go on board with him. We will go on board with them. If my cameras want to work, that'd be great. There we go. But all over the back of McGowan. This is the thing with Donington as well. There is no spotlights, no lights, no floodlights, only your headlights. Take advantage of it. Down into second gear. Through Redgate they now go. Rear end slip there. Off they go. Martelli is going to fly through. You see her in the rear view. Dirt getting kicked up there. Harry's going to have out on the windshield. He's going to have to put the wipers on the glare of that dirt. Didn't know this was... Didn't know that we're playing. Didn't know that it was a bit of Mario Kart. But then again, it does make sense to Donington. As with the pit stop as well now mandatory. Quick reminder that fuel will also need to be taken at the pit stops. So with mandatory refuel at the pit stops, who is going to choose what they need to do? Like, surely that's going to play a big advantage here. Stop go 30 for Jones, speeding in the pit lane. So what, from a bad night to a worse night? He's going to have to come again and hope that he gets a better, and I hope that he has a better race number 2, of course. 2 30-minute races tonight, not one singular 1-hour race like we had last week at this. The iconic circuit of Paul Ricard. But we got a whole season ahead of us. But still, it'll be good to get some points on the early marks, I would say, especially here at Donington as they make their way through. DeBont is there, they lead, followed by McGowan, then Martinelli. So that is what's happening a little bit further back. You can see Selden now coming onto the back of Harris. So coming now down and through as they head into the right-hander there. Going to be holding and choosing the line at the current moment. Having the opportunity to make their mark, I would say, because that's going to throw out the window. Because speaking of which, Bell is into the pit lane. There he is. So somebody already opted to go for it. Jones, Donahue, Harumko and Bell all chose for it. However, there's one thing what I'm thinking about now. Is it going to be a 1 litre? Is it going to be a 1 litre for some of these guys? Because surely if they didn't realise that mandatory pit stops on, they would have fueled up for the entirety of the 30 minutes. So, guess it's going to be a strategy call. We saw what happened last week with the very beamer that's in the pit lane and now has a stop go 30. They did an absolutely amazing pit strategy call and were just about to hold on to it. 1 or 2 more laps and Jones may have lost a win at Spa, but tonight it's gone the opposite way. But either way, it's what you would have hoped for as they do head towards the end of this. We are just over 5 minutes in, and Canajaz is coming down the line, trying to make their way through, trying to hold onto it for a moment. The Porsche got one behind it and got another one behind it and Hacker in front. Who is going to choose that? Who's going to choose who's going to choose what they like and all that? 403, that being Jones. Now clearing that stop go 30, very deep there for Devril. So that's going to cost them that first position being taken by Kanasaj. What is going to happen here with Druic then? Now down into the braking zone, going into turn number 1 of Redgate. Devril's going to back out of it, and he will now lose that position, and he's going to go on the grass and almost lose it there through the good old Redgate on turn number 1. So not what they would have hoped for. Now Canasage going to be on the defensive again here because he was able to clear the McLaren, but he wasn't able to clear the Porsche. The orange and blue, that good old iconic livery on the Porsche, making its way through. Maybe no Rexy, but it's still a lovely looking car tonight. As you see the greyish silver and red on that Porsche in front as they head up and through Coppice. What's happening up front? It is Hanlon on Selden. Hanlon and Selden here, a few laps deep, on lap number 5 now, heading through Melbourne, through the right-hander, and it is going through and looking for it. Going to be holding onto the line here, going to be looking for a move down into Goddard's hairpin, heading now onto the Wheatcroft straight, but they're also going to be coming onto the back of Harris there. Here, so Selden was chasing Harris, and that's held him up a little bit, so now Hanlon's been given an opportunity to come and fight through. Mendes also there, you see Goose in the background with the blur, so that is what's happened. So that's the opportunity that they are using to take. De Bon has driven away with it a little bit. 1.1 to McGowan, who's now there, as you see him. As you see all the other headlights. This is the good thing about being in the dark around a circuit like this. You see all the headlights now come through as they choose to go against it. There's a little bit of a gap. You can see by the way that the cameras are switching about. But there is very much a gap between these drivers starting to form. The top two starting to drive away, while Vitters is driving away as well. He's in a little bit of his own race right now, with Harrison holding off Selden and maybe even Hanlon as they continue to fight back here. What about Hanajaz? As something has happened to Hanajaz, they are off at the right-hander, and no, that's deep at old hairpin most likely. So that's going to cost them positions. Devrill's now going to have an opportunity to go around the outside through Starkleys Bridge, which they do. Lovely move there by the Macca as they head up into Coppice now. So this has opened up this fight as well in this back part. Hill's there, Roach is there. Oh, Canasage going very, very deep. Or was it Roach? No, it was Hill. The Hill's got an overtake there on Roach. That sent him very, very deep. Costello also in this fight as well. You see him there as they now make their way through. Harris there. Hanlon has got past Selden while we were looking at the battle in the background, at the back of the field as well. So that is how they've stacked up. Now down to less than a second between DeMont and McGowan. Up and under, almost there as we head through Redgate. Nearly 10 minutes deep into this race. These 30-minute races go by real quick. If I do say so myself. So now they are going to look and choose. They're going to look and choose to have their opportunity. What are they going to be doing and how will they fare against these other drivers? Because one mistake is going to cost you exactly a second between DeVon and McGowan at the last moment as they were fighting. But now they're just holding the gap as you've got this Hill, Costello, you've got Hill, Costello, Roche, Canasage, and then Rutherford as well, who's trying to close onto the back of it. As here is Selden on Hanlon. So that's how they're fighting and choosing their opportunities. As we are going to look at the leader here, 1 point there, as Vitters on the back of Martinelli, nearly at the halfway point in this first race. Of course, I did promise that we will get a replay of that lap number 1 incident at Redgate, so we'll get there. We've got the man working. They're just trying to find a replay for a moment as they head now down and through. As they head now down and through the corner curves, through the right-hander, up and through Starkleys Bridge, holding on to their moments as they now have Hill and Costello, who's actually past Hill. The Brill also there as they go up and down, holding on to these lines at the current moment. Vitters now on the back of Martinelli still. It looks like that's going to be the fight. This is going to be the final place on the podium up for grabs as they want to choose, as they come and fight for their crowns here on the final step of the podium, the bronze step. Some may say. For me, I just call it a podium as they head through the left-hander, through the right-hander. Good old Leicester chicane here at Donington Park. 1.1 between the leaders, and now this is the podium which they won. This is Vitters is all over the back of Martinelli as you get the as you get the good old helmet cam here, heading now down and through. Once again, the darkness showing. You're going to see the headlights of the other car behind in the rear view as, oh no, Vitters choosing and opting to go for pit lane. So, epileptic, just a little bit of an epileptic warning, flashing lights. Let's go to a replay, and we will get the replay up of what happened on lap number 1, because of course there was a bit of a crash on the opening lap. So this was the opening lap here. It happened towards the front, so let's go back a few cars. I believe it was actually with the 776 initially, so down into the corner. It's getting boxed in and gets spun around. Also, actually, Castellio in the background there. So let's go into slow motion here, because we need to, let's have a look at this. 0.25 here, just for a moment while we have a look. This was lap number 1, we will remind you. So you see the 776 there, you can also see Castellio. Castellio gets tagged on the inside going into turn number 1, and then the 776 also gets tagged, and it becomes a snowball effect from there. Castellio comes across the circuit, makes contact with another Porsche, already going to have the cars off. One car has to take evasive action. Seems like it may not have actually. It looked like it was only those two who got the worst of it. So that was lap number 1. What happened at the opening lap. So that is how that stacks up, and that's how we got to where we are now, with the front leader called by McGowan, who's now half a second. We looked away to look at the replay, and now we're back in the live racing action. The sparks flying on the windshield. So maybe a few burn marks for the engineers to scrub off. As that is yellow, so that's an RTG 4, I believe. Yes, it was Canasad. So something happened to him while we were looking at the replay. Handling on the back of Harris as well. No rear view here, as I don't have a AMG helmet counter apparently. But we do have Harris here, very deep in this Ford Mustang. You can see Hanlon in the background there, heading down and through, on board with the Bond in the helmet cam as well, just on the right-hand side of their helmets. As you see the McLaren in the rear view with nearly 15 minutes left on the clock. Hill will come into the pit lane. You can see how tight it is. Double yellow apparently in the pits. Love a good old RTG. But either way, you're going to have a don't park RTG here. No returning to the pit lane, because down into the hairpin now to come onto Wheatcroft. Is it going to be a call from the leader? No, it will not. What about McGowan? He will stay out. He's right on the back of De Bont. It is a mandatory pit stop, remember, so they have got to pit at some point. So that is going to be the strategy. Who is going to pit when? One mistake around this circuit: pit too early, you lose positions; pit too late, you lose positions. You have got to find that sweet spot. Going into the right-hander as they head through Old Hairpin. Now going to be continuing that white, that green, that blue. It's all over that Aston Martin. Now down into the braking zone, through the right-hander, and up and through, heading towards Coppice. A little bit of lap traffic though, it seems. So is it going to be a call by De Bont to choose and opt against it? Because through Coppice, rear end wiggle there, also having to watch McGowan catch the car a little bit. So that's that's some of that they're thinking about now. Is it possible that it's starting to fare up? It's 12 degree track temperature, 12 degree ambient, optimum track surface, but over the curb. De Bont is going to move to the right hand side for defence. Is he going to get it now onto the right hand side? He's still in the blind spot of the McLaren, which he does get it nice and tidy with the helicopter, which realistically shouldn't be up in the air because of the flight path, but either way, we've got special permission to use it. And now, who is going to call it? Is there going to be a box? Yes, there will. McGowan is going to call it first. Into the pit lane comes the McLaren 864. McGowan into the pits. So the two leaders into the pit lane. So that brings us back to one of the two battles out on circuit at the moment. Mendes, who was actually pitted. Keep in mind, you can tell they're pitted by not having the orange block with one. It is as simple as it's green. You've made your pit stop. You're now heading up and through the S's, trying to look at Costello, trying to make a move, looking at where he can get it done, because anything and everything can happen at any moment as you head through and down into the final corner as you head onto Wheatcroft again, past the pit lane, which is absolutely astounding. Through the left-hander, is Costello going to call a box? Yes, he will. That'll bring an end to that battle, and that's Costello into the pit lane. The question is now, who is going to come out behind him? Because there is the Bond. This is how quick this circuit is. There is the Bond. McGowan is coming through just before Coppice. So that's how that's set up. But lap number 12 now. We are over the halfway mark, coming towards the final 10 minutes. Is it going to be a call by the leader to come into the pit lane? We'll wait and see as he comes out and through this final corner, using the longer layout, the national layout, and into the pit lane comes the Bond. So where is McGowan now going to come out? Well, he's already out the pit box. Where is he going to come out in relation to the leader? He was all over the back, down the inside. It's going to be a lapped car. Who on earth sent him round? That is chaos, and that is Harris round in the hairpin. I believe that is that is Donahue. That was Donahue who went into the side of Harris, into the hairpin. So that will be under investigation. But Harris is going to be furious. And there is the Bond. So the Bond now getting past Harris. McGowan is right on the back of this as well. If you want to fight, you've come to the right place. This is going to be absolute cinema in the final 11 minutes. They head through. There is Martinelli on the back of Deverill, looking to get past the car, which is yet to make their pit stop down and into the braking zone, walk through the right-hander, choosing the timing to look for an overtake. We will remind you that we still got qualifying to come your way. Qualifying 2 will be at 5 AM with a 2 PM race as well. Still yet to come live here on IFWL. Of course, do not forget you get one free subscription with Prime. We would love, and of course, feel free to support us. One free subscription with Prime to avoid any adverts, or you can just subscribe as normal. Or if you would like, for even more perks, you can become a Patreon today. Patreon.com/IFWL. Use code Lexi at checkout for 50% off your first month. That's Lexi, that's spelled LEXI, for 50% off your first month. If you like what you're seeing and you would like to get involved, go to www.ifwl.net and follow our socials at IFWL Official. And of course, a big thank you to our affiliates and sponsors: G-Portal, Fanatec, SimGrid, Loaded, formerly CD Keys, Moser, and Coach Dave Academy. And of course, a massive one to Max the dog. Of course, this is Max's Mini Enduro. The series is named after him, but of course, that being being the one and only Jumbo Jackal. As they head now and through, going to be holding on to it at the current moment, heading now in the final 10 minutes. We would love your support. Or if you can't subscribe, feel free to just drop us a follow, and you can catch the racing action live with myself whenever we are live. Rutherford though, not exactly the best night tonight. Drive-through penalty for the McLaren. And there is Jones on the back, in the purple meanie, looking to get the overtake done on Donahue. Of course, Donahue making contact with Harris earlier on in this race. Into the pit lanes does come Harris now. So they are making their pit stop with just under 10 minutes left. 8 minutes 33 left in race number 1. Still plenty of action to come your way tonight. through the left-hander now, and on through Starkley's bridge, through the right-hander. Donahue is going to put on a good defence here. Both these drivers have pitted, so this is a battle for position at the end of the day. Drive-through cleared for the 2-2-3. That being Rutherford. Tanner Sargent in the pits. They RTG and they are yet to come back out. Same with Roche. They have not come back out of the pit lane. Harris still in the pits. Donahue, good defence there. No move done by Jones for a moment, but Donahue is going to go deep. He goes straight over the gravel, and here comes Jones. Here comes plenty of drivers, three abreast. Well, two abreast there. Now going to go double wide as they head through Melbourne. Camera angle may look like three wide, but Donahue's going to get that move back and done. Lovely move to get back that position and into that. But now on the inside line is going to be Jones. He's going to have the advantage here, but he's going to have it for Redgate. Donahue is going to go deep, and Jones takes advantage. That's P number 16 for the Beamer driver. Donahue now looking for the inside line down into Redgate, but nothing at the current moment. 0.3 when they came out the pit lane. This is Harris and Bell. Ford versus McLaren, British versus American power as they go through the right-hander. That is a lovely move by Harris to get past Bell. He made it look easy with the American roar under that bonnet. So now this is Donahue back further down, and Jones has got past him, and he's starting to open up that gap to the Honda driver. So De Bont is on net lead. Hanlon still leads this, but they are yet to come in the pit stop. I will remind you, you have to make your pit stop. It's mandatory as they head now down and through onto the track surface. No change really in the temperature. You never know what it's going to be like with qualifying 2 and the race. As it is Britain, it always rains here, so wouldn't be surprised if we get some. As here comes De Bont around the final corner. And he is once again going to take the lead here of race 1 at Donington Park. So Vitus now versus Selden. Nearly 5 minutes left on the clock. It seems to be pretty steady on the rest of the grid. So, this fight is where it's at. It is down to this as we will go over the rear wing of Selden as he will look to defend here at Donington. He's got it in his hand. He just needs to hold it. Beat the British car on the British circuit. It's short that the home soil manufacturers don't get a full podium. He wants to ensure that there's a bit of Italian engineering on there. However, I will say this, it is going to not happen because he is going to have to make a pit stop. He has to do it. He's got 5 minutes left on the clock. So that is going to give the podium to Vitus as they head now down and through. The Bentley in the Union Jack, that being driven by Goose, comes into the pit lane. Further down the grid order, we'll see where he will come out and see if that evolves into any kind of battle as they continue here at the Donington Park circuit. Again, very, very close to the rear end is Selden there. And is he going to call the box? No, he will not. He stays out. Stays out on the circuit, so it's not for track position, so we'll go and have a look at this further back. Jones, he got past Donahue, and now he is chasing it down man. Macca. Beamer versus Beamer for P number 15. Make it 3/4, it's still a position, nonetheless. It's man and it's Jones, it's evolving. In the last sector, Jones brought it down by 4 attempts. Can he bring it down by anything more? Down and through the right-hander, holding onto the line. Big undulations, big jostulations there for the Beamer as it headed over this grass. 3 minutes left on the clock. So, this is a fight still, 3 minutes left on the clock. Selden is still yet to pit. They will have to make their pit stop. I will remind it because surely they do not want to get a penalty here. As they continue, it will go through. Unfortunately, it was an error, but we are rolling with it nonetheless. The Bond is still out there, with an 8-second lead. He is dominating this race so far. And he is making his way down through the chicane now and heading down into Melbourne. We will get another 2 laps of racing action here at Donington Park. It's about a 126, 127, 128 lap time here so far as Jones is still chasing down Man. It's opened up a little bit by his slight to about 6 seconds, to about 6 tenths last sector. Now it's 0.3 tenths into this sector. So, is he going to go for a move here? We're about to find out. Down into braking zone. Lap traffic going to start to get in the way here of these drivers. This is definitely going to start to cause a bit of a jostle between these drivers, between who they want to take their position. They are going to want to get it done as soon as possible. Jones is there. He's actually got past Man, so camera was doing a bit of awkward work. He's got past Man in the darkness while the camera wasn't on it, so that's a lovely move which he's done in the darkness. Now he's got to get past a Ferrari as he is right behind Hill now. This is all to play for. Seemingly a mistake by the Ferrari going through the S's point in this position. Down and through trying to curve. You can see the G-forces. He's going to dive it down the inside. Won't know if he's got it done when it comes down and through. And it will all contact there with him as they're headed out of Old Hairpin into Starcliffe Bridge. Well, that was a tap on the side, but they both keep it straight. Jones getting past Hill. He's up with a P number 14. Is Man or Donahue now going to have a choice against this? Down into the braking zone. Contact between the two drivers. Man versus Hill. Hill moves across the circuit. Donahue's going to see him in his rear view. As we can't exactly see it right now. But that is going to be Donahue past Hill. And so did Man as well. So maybe struggling a little bit towards the end is that Man. But it's this man. It is this man, DeBont, leader on the final lap. It is the white flag around the circuit. Final lap here in race number 1 at Donington Park in the Max's Mini Enduro. It's all to play for. Never say never, especially with these bikes further back. Donahue chasing down Man as they head onto the final lap as well. Who's had the perfect opportunity to come in here? Let's find out. Final lap here, wheel to wheel, side by side. Going to have a black car in there. No, it's Deverell. Deverell's fallen off the back. He hasn't made his pit stop yet. So that is unfortunate for him as these guys will come through. Druich versus Harrison as well. Harrison's there. Druich is just behind. However, they're going to get another lap here, but this man will not, because he's going to finish this one in absolute style. He's absolutely dominated this. He held it from the exit of lap number 1. In fact, I'll even show you it. He's gone from pole, and he unfortunately no fastest lap. But either way, it's 1 for 1 if he has only holds it through this final corner into the braking zone. And it is going to be DeBont through the final corner, through this hairpin, goes to the line in race number 1. DeBont will win here at Donington Park. And it's 1 for 1 as he takes it to the line in style. McGowan will come on P number 2 with fastest lap. Vitters P number 3 as they round that final corner. Lovely and in style. Selden did not take his pit stop. He will get a penalty for that. So now this battle, Druich versus Harrison, as they head in this final fight. Jones and Man, this battle ended up cooling down a little bit. Then again, oh my God, hold on. I believe Hill is out of fuel. go. Harris, Costello looking for a move. Costello's putting up a mega defense here. Big rear end wobble there for the Porsche. Ford Mustang on the back of him. Down into Melbourne. Race number 1, not over yet on the fights. We've still got this one. Harris, Costello, we've got the car which has stopped on the side due to fuel outage. And now down into the braking, into the final corner. Costello's going to go deep. Is he going to get up? No, he's not. Harris with a final corner overtake to get past Costello for P number 8. Costello P9 and Druic will round out the top 10. Bell P number 11, and Hill had to return to pits because of fuel shortage. That is really unfortunate for him. But the race ends like this. It's the Bond who wins, followed by McGowan and Vitters to round out the podium. Then Selden, Hanlon, Mendez, Martinelli, Harris, Costello, Deluish, Bell, Goose, Jones, Mann, Deverill, Donahue, Harumko, Rufferton, Hill, Roche, and Canisage. So, whilst we wait for this to tick over, what a race there by the Bond. Good domination. McGowan, P number 2. I'm sure he would have hoped for more, but he takes it to the line nice and tidy. Unfortunately, because the pit stop was not served, I believe the penalty will stand. So, anybody who did not take the pit stops, you have got to feel for them. As the game waits to tick over. As we wait to tick over to qualifying 2, we will remind you, this is IFWL and I am Lexi. You can become a Patreon today for exclusive perks. Use code Lexi at checkout for 50% off your first month. That's code Lexi, spelled L-E-X-I. And of course, big thank you to our affiliates and sponsors. G-Portal, Fanatec, SimGrid, Loaded, Motor Racing, Coach Dave Academy, and of course, Max the Dog. Will pit stop be mandatory next race? I believe it will. So, still waiting for the tick over. As we wait to tick over here. Let us know who you are supporting in the chat, of course. Your favourite drivers, all waiting and ready and raring to go. As it is all to play for. Confirmation there to take pit stops. It will to take pit stops. There we go, there's the tick over. Well, there's the classification, I should say. So, it's updated now. It's updated the classification because of the penalties. So, pretty much the same as I said. Yep. It's the Bond, followed by McGowan, then Vitters, Hanlon, Mendez, Martinelli, Harris, Costello, Juluic, and then Bell. Then Selden, Goose, Jones, Mann, Donahue, Harumko, Rutherford, Deverill, Hill, Roche, and then Canisage. So of course, let us know who you are supporting in the chat. It would be greatly appreciated to know who everybody is rooting for. Even if you're rooting for yourself, you are allowed to root for yourself. You're allowed to be yourself. So, as they head into qualifying when it ticks over. Is it because I've... Is that going to fix it? No? Okay. So, we've got a few drivers going out on circuit at the moment. Welcome in, Jumbo Jackal. As we wait and see how qualifying will start. Don't worry, we will switch to quali soon. Honestly, I'm not complaining. We get a perfect time to have a little chit-chat about that race, because I think one of the biggest things I'm looking at here is what happened with Donoghue and Harris. Donoghue would go into Harris, as there we go. Green, green, green in pit road. Qualifying is underway for race number 2. As you see, all the drivers filing out there. Let's have a look-see, shall we? As let's get the helmet cam going, and let's go for a lap around this iconic circuit. The 644, what should I say, the 664. McGowan always puts on a show. It was it would be DeBon who would go 1 for 1 in the first qualifying and then the first race. Can he go 2 for 2? It seems like if anybody's going to dethrone him, the closest man to guess would be this man. Quick hydration, but there is no hydration on the circuit. It's all sunny. Well, I say it's all sunny. It's all moons and stars tonight. It's also a track surface, 13-degree ambient, 13-degree track. As you head through Melbourne, let's get ready for a qualifying lap here for quali 2. Only 10 minutes this time, already nearly at 8. As they head for the first lap here, on board with McGowan, looking to make it. So the box can't get a 2 for 2. Into Old Hairpin, up and through Starkleys Bridge. You see the elevation, you see the bounces, you see the choices through the left-hander now and into the braking zone, into the right-hander as well. Holding onto the curb, hug it tight and up and through into the right-hander of Coppice. Now gonna hold it, don't go too wide, hold the car, hold it, control it, control the beast. That is under your seat, and now you bring it down towards the Essex chicane, holding on to it, choosing it, over the curbs as much as you like. Big wobble there for a moment, having to control the car with absolute precision. Was McGowan into the braking zone, and into the right-hander, lovely and clean for the time being, choosing, opting into the braking zone. Is he going to set a benchmark? We know he will. What will be the time to be over the curve a little bit there? Maybe it turned into a little bit too early. Here comes McGowan to the line. 127.342. But Vitters instantly goes and beats it with a 127.112. What about on a speed number 5? Vitters P1, McGowan P number 2, Harris P number 3. Where is he at? There he is, looking to set it up. This man is 2 for 2. Well, this man is 1 for 1, looking for 2 for 2. It's going to be the Bond who will start his qualifying run here at Donington Park. And he goes straight for it. Into turn number 1 of Redgate. Controlled by Aston Martin. It's a beast in a straight line. A little bit tricky to keep in a corner. But they are going to continue here. Down and through the granite curves. Into the old hairpin. Gonna hold it. Gonna control it. Yes, he does. With absolute precision. And now up and through Starkley's Bridge. Holding and choosing. Waiting for it. Up and through McLean's. Is going into the right-hander. And controlling the pace. Through and through. Every opportunity that you take, you have to make 0 mistakes. 1 mistake on your record and it can be all over. But nothing will compare if this man goes for 2. He's going to go through the S's. He's going to continue here at Donington. Will he get it or will he not? 0.170 separates Vitters and McGowan. Through Melbourne now, does go to Bond. Onto the line with under 5 minutes left on the clock. And he is now slowing down. So he definitely invalidated that lap. Where is McGowan coming through Coppice? Choose your time, choose your race. Heading now down and through into the braking zone. And now through Melbourne again, looking for that pole position. McGowan going to be trying to close in on it. 0.170 off the current top time. He's been pretty decent so far this night, unable to get the win, but still looking to go against it. Down into the braking zone now, onto the left-hander, choosing his pace, choosing his time. Got to be going through the line now. Does he go pole? Yes, he does. 126.5 flat. 126.5 flat. So it is McGowan on provisional pole. De Bont yet for a time. He's got a chance now through the S's as they hold onto their positions. 1 mistake, 1 choice, all the way through into the braking zone, into Goddard's hairpin, now through the left-hander, as it is now going onto Wheatcroft Straight. 3 minutes left on the clock. De Bont to the line, only P number 4 though, 0.6 behind McGowan. That will be a surprise to many, or maybe a testament to McGowan. P number 3 currently sits as Hamlin, P number 2 as Vitters. It's a very close time between the top 2. Others we don't know. Mendez making his way through. So, who has the choice? It is down to the drivers. Down to these drivers now, who will go for it. It comes down to Mendez as he gets to get a lap time on the board. He wants to get one there. Will he have the time and the pace? Let's find out. Here at Donington Park, they go neat and tidy. Going to hold on to their positions in their fights, choosing their timings. But now Mendes will go to the line. Is he going to get an improvement? Yes, he will. As 1.690 off the top P number 9 on the current leaderboard. Baroche still needs to get a lap time on. Same with Devril. 1 minute 30 left on quali. As you get closer and closer towards the end of it, you have more pressure on your back. There is a car on the right-hand side there. That is the 100. That was the Bon. The Bon is not having a Q2 that I believe he would have hoped for, because he's not working out in the moment, not working out in the timing. But either way, you never know at the end of the day. Maybe opting to go for a slower one, heading onto these times and forms. Less than 30 seconds here in quali. McGowan still leads, followed by Vitters. Martinelli into the pit lane. The Bont is P number 5. But Vitters out there as well, down into the final few corners. As there he is, 126.342. At the moment, it's 2 for 2. McGowan returns to the pit lane. I am sure Vitters would have seen that happen right in front of his eyes. The fight, the hunt is truly on here. Looking and continuing, chasing the scent. Find the time. How will you improve this? It all comes down to the mindset, the machinery, the driver's skill. It comes through the right-hander, up and through into Coppis, as he is still keeping it validated through the right-hander now, and towards the braking zone, onto Starkleys straight, into the braking zone, and into the S's, left, right, down towards Melbourne, from the land down under. But here in the UK, it's under the East Midlands Airport flight path. It is here at Donington Park, 20 minutes south of Derby. Could this man, Vitters, deny a 2 for 2? He is the only one who is left able to do so. It will find out in just a moment around the final corner, but he opts for pit road. It is the Bont, 2 for 2 in quali. He will be on pole position for race number 2. McGowan P number 2 with Vitters P number 3 and Martinelli P number 4 with Hanlon P number 5. We're going to go to a quick intermission. We'll be back with your full grid and your formation lap, followed by race number 2 after the short little break. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back, race fans, and the formation lap for the next race here at Donington Park. The final race of tonight is underway, the formation lap, and we will remind you that the pit stop is mandatory. You have to take it to avoid a penalty. And of course, this is Max's mini Enduro, round number 2, race number 2 at Donington Park. And I am bringing you the action tonight. If you are just tuning in and going into this, the qualifying order is set and the grid is set. It looks like this. 2 for 2 in qualifying. Can he make it 2 for 2 in a race? It's the Bond who will line up on pole position. McGowan sits P number 2. Then Vitters P number 3 with Martinelli P number 4 to round out the second row. Third row will go Hanlon and Chris, with fourth row being Selden and Mendez. Fifth row to round out the top 10. It's Jones and then Costello. It's Enduro, Bell, Canasad, Horonco, Donahue, Goose, Mann, Hill, Rutherford, Devriel and Rush. So, how are they going to fare? Let's find out. We've got Donington Park. Mandatory pit stop. It seems tonight, unfortunately, but that makes it even better due to you've got to think about strategy. How is that? Who's going to choose it? Who's going to make the advantage? And who's going to take the call? DeBon will want to go 2 for 2. He wants to make this a night to remember. Looking for glory once again. He's further down the field tonight, but he's starting P number 9. He did it last week. He did it last week with a mega pit stop strategy. Jones looking for another victory. Can he get another? Can he get one under his belt tonight? McGowan just short in race number 1. Just short in race number 1. Can he stop that 2 for 2? And can he win tonight? Vitters is also there, as I accidentally clicked the wrong button. But we now get ready to go racing here. It is overall and it is time. Get ready for your call. It is Donington Park and it is all to play for. DeBon will line up on pole position. He will have the McLaren of right alongside him. Here we go. Through the final hairpin. As the formation lap comes to an end, all the drivers will go double file. It is all eyes to the gantry lights for the final race here at Donington.
Green light, give it all you can.
Green flag drops, we are racing. That's going to be an amazing start there. 4 to Bond. Seems like he's going to hold on to it, but McGowan's only going to try around the outside. Trying to hit race number 1. Is he going to get it again? Bitter's going to get blocked in there. Already going to have Hanlon in the background as well. It seems like, yes, we have. Everybody's through nice and clean for the moment. A little bit of dirt getting kicked up in the background, but nice and tidy. DeBon is there. Already got a car off of there, Melbourne. At good odds, not good odds, at Cranners. And a car off just before Old Hairpin as well. So that is Martinelli who's off. I spoke too soon. Well, the rest of the grid seeming nice and clean. Of course, also going to be on a charge here is Hanlon. Is Harris, I should say, looking to make amends. He got spun around by Donahue, who had yet to make a pit stop in race number 1. Now going to be looking to get back on that field and possibly get back onto that podium where I believe he may think he rightly deserves. It's 30-degree track temperature, 22 ambient, onto the track surface, no rain on the radar. As down into the racing zone, man's going to look for Rutherford. Contact, round they go, almost right in the middle of the hairpin, of the chicane. And now everybody else is going to try and fight through. Here comes Horonco. Going to be looking for the inside here of Hill. Hill's going to look for the inside. Oh no! Oh, almost. Yes, it does. Round goes the Porsche. Keeping it in a straight line. Going to box in Devriel there. So a little bit unfortunate for him as that battle continues in the background. Car already in. Jones is going to opt for the early stop to get rid of this. Man for a pit stop. So does Mendez. So at the end of lap number 1, Bond leads, followed by McGowan, then Vitters. Hanlon is still there, so with Selden. Harris trying to close it as quickly as possible. Costello also there. He is chasing down that rear end of that Ford as quickly as possible. So is this Porsche. Trying to come on the back of Costello, trying to get as quickly as possible and get past when he can. Hanlon with the fastest lap previously on the last lap actually. Although maybe it's a bit faster. No, it just disappeared. Down into the braking zone. Harris looking for the left and right. Nothing there for him. Into the left, into the right, through the S's. Surprisingly, the tyre barrier is still there. But now you've got this massive train. You've got Goose leading it. Then it's Kansas, Bell, Devril, Hill, Rutherford, Mann, Haronko. Haronko's falling back actually. So there's Rutherford as they are closing in right on the back. Perfect car control through the S's. Right on the rear end of Mann. Looking and trying to find a way through, but nothing there yet. Two trains in this race. P number 8 to P number 1 is a train. P number 9 down is also a train to P number 17. Everybody else has made pit stops, so they're scattered about the circuit. Into the pit lane comes the leader of the train, Goose. Kansas stays out. Bell stays out. Into the pit lane is going to stay out. Hill safe. Into the pits comes Goose. Martinelli stays out, Rufferton stays out. Mann is going to have a moment there in the hairpin. They've almost gone round. Now this is the fight here. We've got McGowan looking for the lead, locking it in and choosing where to go for it. He's all over the back of that Aston Martin. It's now down to the Bond to defend and for McGowan to get the overtake. On the rear end there, closing, working in the rear view, going into the left-hander, going into the right-hander, flinging the tyres off into the strap, into the airspace, and now down into the braking zone, into Melbourne, but no move, playing the cards, keep them coats close to your chest. He is waiting and holding onto it, into the braking zone for the final corner. Looks at the outside line, he's going to try go for it, maybe an up and under, as he's going to know that the Aston Martin will go wide. He is going to try it, but he's right there looking, lurking. Aston Martin with straight line speed, Vitter's fastest lap, last lap. The lap car is going to be there. McGowan's going to be on the outside. The Bond's going to defend on the inside. Absolutely lovely defending here. McGowan now going to have an opportunity as they head through Cronner curve. Wheel to wheel, side by side, down through Cronner towards Old Hairpin. McGowan is going to be on the outside here, down into the braking zone. Who's going to come out? Tommy backs out of it. The Bond keeps the lead. Now up through Starkleys Bridge. McGowan on the outside. The Bond going to squeeze under the leaderboard. They're still side by side. Through the left-hander, into the right-hander, to Bond squeezing again. They are having an absolutely amazing foul here at Donington. Up and up the hill, into Coppice. And that is nice, and Collini's got it, defended well. Beats Vitters now on the back of this. So is Hanlon. Four-car fight. Vitters making it well known. But as they get through the S's, and making their way through. Welcome in Swarovski to the chat. Hope you are enjoying what you are seeing. If you are new here and you are liking what you're seeing, feel free to drop us a follow, and that's going to be the Bond who goes deep. Amazing action like this that you would ever want to miss, because McGowan has almost got it. The Bond's going to try again around the outside into the hairpin, but he loses out. This slips through the cracks, and the Bond from P1 to P number 3 in the space of 2 hairpins. McGowan leads, followed by Vitters, followed by De Bont. Woo! That is how racing is the best. Take a quick beverage as here we go. Vitters Still closing on McGowan, but now McGowan has clean air. Is he going to be on the back of it? If he's on the back of this train right here, is Hanlon in the AMG. So, hey, he's holding on to it. Quite a few moments, the AMG was accidentally called a Aston Martin last week, as McGowan is doing pretty well in that blue, purple and black McLaren. It's daylight hours here at Donington in race number 2. It was pitch black in race number 1. Temperatures are higher, 30-degree track temperature, 22-degree ambience. So, how are they going to fight each other? In the background there, you can see Man, who has made his pit stop. He is going quite a bit slower as they wait for their moment. Stop, go, 30 for Mantinelli, and they will continue here at Donington, but that is not what you want at the end of the day. So we've been watching this front fight. Druish into the pits. Has Druish disconnected? I believe Druish may have disconnected. Because I'm trying to click on him. And it's not popping up. That is a disconnect for Druish, unless he can get back in. So that is not, that's really unfortunate for him. Of course, you've got to feel for disconnects. As he got DeBont now on the back of this, Hanlon there, and yeah, there it goes. That's going to pump everybody who was below him up one position, and we do have confirmation from somebody who was with Druish. It was a disconnect, so that is unfortunate for him. As here comes Devril on Donahue, looking for a move, but nothing yet is decided. Continuously trying to hound at the back of that Honda, which is very good around Donington when you know its strengths and weaknesses. The Bond, who is looking for 2-2 into pit lanes, quick splash and dash as he's already green and off the jacks. He is once again back out and onto the circuit he comes. P number 5 still for him, as this battle in the back is raging on. This battle for P number 14, of course, between Donahue, Devril and Hiroko. A 3-car fight, you never want to miss it. As we are nearly 10 minutes into this race, Rutherford on the back of Harris. Harris has made his pit stop earlier on. He did so at the end of lap number 1, if my mind serves me correctly. Rutherford yet to make his though. So he is in the mix with all these drivers now who have made their pit stop. And the following who have made the pit stops are DeBont, Harris, Jones, Mendes, Dukes, Donahue, Devril, Hiroko, Roche, Kanasaj, Man and Martinelli. So that's how that's fared up. We've got Rufferton here. He's being overtaken by Jones. He's a little bit laggy there, is Rutherford. It seems unable to maybe not control the car the best. So now Jones is looking to get past. You see the car in front sliding, as up at front, that is McGowan, who has been overtaken by Vitus. We'll see what happens here as they continue to race around this circuit. And we've got it. Let's go. Get a replay on what happened in that lead fight. So into the final lap, it was between the leaders. So Vitus would get the lead from McGowan. So it happened earlier on actually. So it happens at Melbourne. So this is the replay here of the overtake lead down into Melbourne. McGowan ends up going a little bit deep up and under there by Vitus, and that gives him the lead, or in fact he thinks so, and yes it does. That is the replay, and that is how the result that we had up top, and it currently still sits happened. We're on lap number 8. We are just over 10 minutes into this race, approaching the halfway mark, and it is Vitus who leads from McGowan to Hanlon. But the big outlier and the big question, DeBont yet to pit. How is it going to fare for him as he is trying to get past Bell? This is on track position, but not net, as they are going to fight wheel to wheel, side by side. The the two teammates fighting and scrapping. Love to see it. What a good old friendly rivalry. And that is not the move, and that's going to be the move done by De Bon, up in the P number 6. So leaders yet to pit, Mendes, Rutherford, I should say, as Devril is also there, making their presence known, trying to choose the opportunity, trying to get past Haronko, get inside that top 15, because either way you look at it, an extra position is an extra position, and you cannot beat it as you head down into the braking zone between these drivers. Heading now down Starkley straight in the background as well. There is Vitters, there is McGowan. How are they going to choose their opportunity? 17 minutes left on this clock with the number 6 lady, followed by the 664, then the number 69 and the 77 making their way down the line. Bell falling off the back of the Bon here, who is 8 seconds behind Costello. But keep in mind the pit stop time. How is that going to opt against each other? In fact, we could get a bit of information. If it's just a splash and dash, like not Costello, if it's just a splash and dash, like the Bon did, looking at the lap times, it's 20 seconds for a splash and dash. Around 20 seconds the entirety of the time in the pit lane, realistically. So, that's a splash and dash. How is it gonna opt? Drive through penalty for exceeding track limits. That's picked up by the 216 of Canasaj. So that is really unfortunate here for him, as Haronko still chasing down Donahue. Vitters leading this, McGowan is still behind him, a little bit of lap traffic coming their way. But this is the fight further back. Hanlon on the back of Bell now, so Bell gets in pit. Somebody has just disconnected, somebody has just left. I'm looking on the board, I'm trying to figure out who it was. Costello's P number 4 at the moment, because they are yet to pit. It's not Costello. Devril's P number 15. Let's see, who disconnected? As you see the move here, almost. So if we compare qualifying, was it Roche? Was it Roche? No, Roche is up there, thank you. Nope. Oh, I believe, yes it was Canasaj. And Canasaj are both out of this race now. Whoa, heavy on the brakes there for Bell and Hill. Rutherford into the pit lane as well, so only the top 4 now to make their pit stop. All to play for, and this man is on a charge. What can Donahue do? We're going to find out towards the end of this. 0.2 between Haronko and Donahue. This is the fight further back, which we're going to be watching into the final corner now as we ride in the helmet of the AMG driver. You see the Honda just in front, how dirty the windshield has gotten of this AMG now. So it's all to play for. Through the right-hander as they head through. And choosing to go for it. You're going very much over the curve there is the AMG. That's going to cost him time as they head now down into the braking zone. Selden opts to go for the pit lane. So now, where is he going to drop? Where is he going to pop out? He's only just on the pit lane now. He only just comes to a stop. And this is the Bon. He is already here. He's on the main straight. And he is continuing down it as they do currently sit. So that is going to be perfect prime pickings for the Bonnet seems as they continue around this moment, as they continue and down and through. I don't know what that message is. If you're asking me, Sorofsky, I am doing all right, as these drivers are probably doing all right as well. And here at IFWL, we're going to give a big thank you to our sponsors and affiliates: G-Portal, Fanatec, SimGrid, loaded by CD Keys, Moser Racing, and Coach Dave Academy, and of course Max the Dog, who is of course the sponsor of this series, Max's Mini Enduro. So if you are liking what you are seeing, go to www.ifwl.net and get involved in the action today. Feel free to give us a follow on our socials as the Bonnet's gate is fighting past this. He's got past Costello there as we go on board, and that is now going to be a lovely move. He's going to have him in the rear view, and you see the Porsche, that's the move done. Lovely, jubbly sound as a pound. So as they head into the braking zone, 12 minutes left on the clock, and if you would like to support us here at IFWL so we can keep the action going for you, you can subscribe today. A follow is great, even better if you can subscribe. You get one free subscription for Prime per month, or if you can't, then just feel free to subscribe at any time. And of course, you can become a Patreon today for even more perks. Go to patreon.com/IFWL and use my code. Use code Lexi at checkout if it's your first month to get 50% off. So that's 50% off for your first month using code Lexi. That's LEXI. That's how it's spelled, and that is now going to be this fight. McGowan's still trying to close in on Bitters, but the Bonnet's now P3. They're only just coming through Melbourne. I feel like they are going to have to make a pit stop now, otherwise the Bonnet is going to have so much time to catch up to them. But either way, it comes down to the drivers, not the commentator. Is there going to be a call by either driver? No, they continue to stay out on the circuit, and Roche ends up going deep and into the barrier on the exit of Melbourne. Look at the wheel of that car. Well, seemingly just for a moment slanted. Maybe a bit of front left suspension damage to the Ferrari. I would say so. And as somebody who's driven that car, if you get front end damage, it's all right. It's the diffuser. It is the diffuser. Hooray! It is the diffuser that can continue in the days that they do continue. And of course, I would rather be in the box than in the car mode. So that's why you find me where I am. Plus it seems like I'm better in the box than the car, as there is the Bond, 28 seconds behind actually. So, with 10 minutes remaining. So here we go. If you are watching when this gets uploaded to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications to be so you know where every single time that you get uploads over on the IFWL YouTube. Of course, IFWL official on all the socials as they head down into this braking zone. Mendez on Jones. Seems to be a development that has occurred over the past 2 laps. Let's give these guys a bit of screen time. Good old mid-pack, as it is last week's race winner versus Mendez, one man who seemingly didn't have as much luck as he would have hoped for last week. So can he rectify it here? Let's find out. Stay hydrated. As right now they're going into the braking zone again through the hairpin, and Costello into the pit lane. And where is he going to come out? Because there is Hanlon and Harris. They're coming through. Harris has come through. Jones has come through. Mendez has come through. What about Selden? Selden's just coming into the hairpin now. Is Costello going to be off the jacks in time. Through the left-hander, Costello seemingly doing a longer pit stop. So he is yet to come off the blocks as McLaren's just sat there. There it is. You see it drop them. The wheels go and spin as they get on the way. As into the pit lane comes McGowan. Probably one of the biggest so far this evening. McGowan comes into the pit lane. So now Vitus is going to have to respond. This is going to be the question now, though. How will it fare with Dupont? He's making his way through. He's P number 3 at the moment. He has just got past. He has just got past the McLaren, I believe. That's Devril, if I remember the liveries correctly. But it's off the blocks. McGowan is on the move. Here he comes on the exit of pit lane. He's right there. Dupont's going to be on the inside, and he's going to jump him. And Dupont gets the move done by a slimest of margins to take back Peter in this race. It could have been a bigger gap if he wasn't in a fight with Devril. But now, this is the thing. Those tyres on McGowan's car, he's going to have to get them up to temperature because he's been sat in the pits for a little bit. The temperature would have dropped in the pressure. So now, he's going to have to get that car straight back into racing form. 6 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock. 5 seconds left on the clock to say we've got 3 minutes, about 4 laps of racing action as Vitus stays out. I don't know if he can hear me. Mandatory pit stop is required. Same with fuel. It has to be made. So now it comes down to that. Vitus possibly going to be losing time here, but this battle with McGowan could cost a bomb that position. Whether it be a Lamborghini, whether it be a McLaren, whether it be an Aston, a Ford, a Beamer, a Ferrari, a Bentley, a Honda or a Porsche, even a good old Macca. Here we go, one more time round this circuit, lap after lap after lap, looking for the move. We're going to put up a poll, so if you are watching, feel free to put your vote in for your driver of the day as these guys fight to the bitter end. We're about to find out here. Let's get a poll up and let's get it going. So we can get your voice. So we can get your voice in here as well. As they continue here, McGowan. Is there. They're continuing. They're holding on to it. This is your result from race number 1, by the way. So the podium, realistically, has not changed. It's been pretty consistent between all these drivers. As don't forget to vote for your driver of the day live right here on IFWL. And that is the result from race number 1. And we return to the live action on your screen. This is further back. Jones still chasing down Mendes. The leader of Vitus, who needs to make a pit stop, now coming through the final corner. How is he going to fare in this? He has to make his pits. This is the key factor. Where is the bot? Where is McGowan going to sit in perspective? Into the pit lane comes the leader of Vitus. There he is. There's the Macca. Who is going to go after him? They're coming through Melbourne now. This is going to be as close as ever, as it depends how long he's on the jacks. He's already off them. Has he got an absolutely astounding jump here? Is he going to defend it? They're coming down the main straight now. There is Vitus. He's opened up a gap. How quickly are De Bont and McGowan going to chase him down in these final 3 minutes? If I'm going to serve my maths correctly, we've got 2 laps of racing action left under our belts. So Vitus just heading through Starcliffe Bridge. De Bont and McGowan just entering it. A lapped car in between. And you never know what is going to happen here. And you never know what Donington Park is going to throw your way into the braking zone, into the right-hander. And it is now to play for McGowan. You would think it's 4-second gap though. They've got to get 2 seconds a lap here to be in with a chance. Towards the end of it, you've got this battle as well, further back with special permission in the airspace to have the helicopter up in the sky to bring the action. They are fighting, they are choosing, looking through the right-hander, through towards Coppice. Then they hold on to the line. Haronko on the back of Donahue. Costello on the back of Goose. The British flag on the back of that Bentley, even if you can't see it from the helicopter. He is going now down and through into the braking zone. Costello's the rear end of the Porsche. Costello simulating a bit more control tonight than it's been elsewhere, and it's probably going to give him an advantage here. Goes up and under, tried to go for it, maybe a slight bit of contact there, and they are going all over the place. Chris and Haronko have been battling out the whole race. Yes, they have actually. I haven't really shown it because we've had so much going on up at the front. But they have been within a second of each other this entire time. Let's give them their screen time now, shall we? A little bit more, because we've missed them a little. So we'll find out what will happen here, as I'm keeping an eye on the top 2 as well, because don't want to miss that. As the 100 are right on the back of each other. They are now going to be having this fight down the back straight. Down into the braking zone for the S's. It's going to be McGowan, who's going to be on the back of De Bont. McGowan moves to the right-hand side, maybe looking to try and find space to go down the inside onto Melbourne, but nothing there for the moment. This is further back on the exit. They're coming up to it, actually. So you can see him in the background. It's McGowan and De Bont. They're charging through this field. But it seems like as we go on to the final lap, Vitus, as long as he holds it, is going to take the win here. It is white flag around Donington. These battles like no other. They are fighting, they are choosing. It's gonna go to the line. Haronko chasing down Donahue. Goose chasing down Costello. This is what's gonna come to the line first. In the background, you should just be able to see him come through. There is the leader of Vitus heading onto the Starcliffe Straight as they get McGowan and De Bont through as well. But we'll give it to this man because he holds it through his final 2 hairpins. He's gonna take it. He's been, honestly, I did not expect this, and I don't think others may either. But he's taken it in his stride. Unexpected, but maybe expected. He's gonna take it. It is Vitus. Masterclass strategy and masterclass drive here in race number 2, in round number 2. He will deny a 2 for 2. Vitus wins here at Donington. In the background there you can see Donahue and Haronko. And Donahue's just going to come over ahead to Bont ahead of McGowan. So that is right at the end there. Hanlon's making his way through. Harris is making his way through. That was incredibly close at the end. Down the inside's going to go man. Still trying to defend from Roche. Roche goes deep in Melbourne. It's going to be a man who will take it unless something happens in the final hairpin, but it looks like it will not. A nice and tidy drive by man to take it home. P number 15, Mendes and Jones now making their way through the final corner. Their battle's going to come to an end with Jones ahead of Mendes. And then you've got the rest of the drivers coming through. Costello's there, Bell's there, Selden's there as he comes to the line now. There is Bell, he's making his way through. He's making his way through Melbourne. Rutherford making his way through. He's going to come to the line now. Goose is there, Costello's there, and Bell as well. We'll get them all to come to the line here in just a second as the flares light up here at Donington. It's Bell who comes on P number 9, Costello P number 10, Goose P number 11. Where is the man? He's probably doing donuts. No, he's not. He's RTG'd. It's that man on your screen. It is Vitters who wins race number 2. DeBond P number 2, and McGowan P number 3. We'll wait for this to tick over. While we do, this is where it sits. Race number 1 results. We'll go through these real quick. It's DeBond who won race number 1 with McGowan P number 2, Vitters P number 3. Hanlon sits P number 4 with Mendes P5. It's then it would then be Martinelli in P number 6 with Chris P number 7, Costello P number 8, P number 9 being Dulwich, and Bell P number 10. Selden P6 P number 11 with Goose P number 12, Jones P number 13 with Man P number 14, Donahue P number 15, Haromko P16, Rutherford in P number 17 with Deverill P number 18, Hill P19, and Roche P20 with Canasage in P21. For race number 2, it would be Vitters who would go to win, and followed by DeBont and then McGowan. So, if maths serves correctly, it'll be DeBont taking home the most points from tonight. It's then Hanlon, Harris, Jones, Mendes, Selden, Bell, and Costello. It's then Goose, Donahue, Haronko, Hill, Mann, Roche, Deverill, Martinelli, Rutherford, Canasage, and Duluich. So, with that, of course, reminder that it is all provisional. Penalties can still be applied. So we'll wait and see if any of those will change. But that is how it sat tonight. And that was absolutely amazing. Let's go to the replay and we will see how it happened for the man, because the leader, of course, being the man up front, if I can get to him. There he is. So this would happen later on in this race. In fact, it would happen just at the end of lap number 7. This would be the overtake for the lead, and he would go. So this is Vitters. This was the overtake for the lead that would take him to victory. You see McGowan just in front and the head out through the SCG. Gets an amazing launch here. McGowan goes a little bit wide, touching the grass, but we are not going to catch it, unfortunately, as the session ticks over. We will get the helicopter up in the sky, because there is your grid for tonight. They start to trickle out. If somebody wants to get a screenshot, you know what to do, as that is going to be that. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been IFWL tonight. I will remind you, if you want to support us, you can subscribe. You get 1 free subscription with Prime per month, or you can become a patron at patreon.com/IFWL. Use code LEXI at checkout for 50% off your first month. That's code LEXI using LEXI. And then also a big thank you to our sponsors and affiliates. Of course, G-Portal, Fanatec, SimGrid, Loaded, Moser Racing, Coach Dave Academy, and of course for this series, Max the Dog. It is Max's Mini Enduro, of course. If you want to get involved, you can go to www.ifwl.net, and then of course follow us on our socials at IFWL Official. This has been the Max Mini Enduro, round number 2 at Donington Park. We'll be back same time, next week. Good night.